On to the UK next. The countdown is on for the first significant electoral test for British Prime Minister Boris Johnson since the Partygate allegations engulfed Downing Street. Local elections on May the 5th are the last major polls before the general elections expected to take place in 2024. All the councils in Scotland and Wales are being contested. In Scotland, 1,200 seats are up in 32 council areas. In Wales, there are 1,200 across 22 councils, and in England, more than 4,000 council seats are being contested across 146 councils. With the Partygate scandal, Boris Johnson's reputation has now hit rock bottom. He was even fined by the police for breaching his own COVID rules during the 2020 lockdown. Also haunting Johnson is the prospect that he will be found to have misled Parliament. When in response to allegations over the Downing Street gatherings, he told lawmakers that rules were followed at all times, and according to the ministerial code, such an eventuality would normally lead to resignation. Though the Prime Minister has apologised in the House of Commons twice, he has repeatedly dodged questions about the future. He claims that the people want the country's politicians to get on with running the country and not obsess over events that took place 2 years ago. The local elections will certainly be an indicator of whether or not Boris Johnson's claims have been right. Johnson and his ministers have been surrounded by scandal and multiple crises. Members of Tories have publicly called for Prime Minister's resignation. Johnson has been mired in scandal and controversy, but remains an exceptional politician. He has been able to weather several storms that might have sunk his predecessors. Johnson was also spared a no-confidence vote in party because his fellow Tories consider him a proven vote-getter. Also, there is no obvious successor waiting in the wings. Remember, despite his conservative credentials, Johnson was twice elected as the mayor of the left-leaning London. Under him, Brexit achieved a surprise referendum win. And with Johnson as their leader, the Tories won a landslide victory in 2019 and got a historic 80-seat majority in the House of Commons. So ahead of the local elections, Johnson has been out on the campaign trail. He has been hitting up market towns in the north of England and many television studios in the south. He also addressed the Ukrainian parliament this week, where he was cheered with multiple standing ovations.
I have one message for you.
Many see Johnson's response to the Ukraine war and his attempt to be hailed as a global hero. This as his ratings back home continue to fall. Analysts say that the main opposition party, the Labour Party, is on course to become the biggest winner from the anticipated drop in support for Prime Minister Johnson's Conservatives. The Conservatives trail Labour by about 5 to 8 percentage points. Voters in England, Scotland and Wales have several issues on their minds. The cost of the living crisis, the government's response to the pandemic, the Partygate and several other scandals, and now whether some of them or all become crucial factors for a part referendum on Boris Johnson and the Tories remains to be seen. And we, of course, will be tracking all the updates on WION. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.